Very interesting.
General Kenobi.
Kenobi! How does it go?
General Kenobi.
Hello there.
Hi there.
What you doing in my waters?
What do you think of me?
I got the
I can assess you.
Mangina lightsaber.
You don't know who I am. You don't know what I've got. You love me? Can you learn to love me? God, so dumb. Oh my God, Pascal, you don't know old Greg. All right, you need the countdown.
Yeah.
Ashapalakamasa. Hajnaznain Suzuki. Nissan, Honda.
William?
Hashamalaka. Come on, Masinipu. Oh, we're like an hour late. Yeah. Like, you know, I like your look too. You're like, no, we're not.
Rod's telling me that my bitrate is unstable. Good to me. You're full of shit. I think they're full of it. Let's go. Give me a countdown.
All right. 5, 4, 3.
Hello, you turkeys, and welcome to episode 43 of the Side Quest Gaming Podcast, a weekly podcast where a couple of chums get together and discuss the week's news in video games, television, movies, live streaming, all this nerd stuff we like to hang out around and talk about. I am your host. My name is Wes. Find me here all the time. I don't know what that even is. To my left, it's because it's different because we're missing one. I'm used to introducing you as above me or somebody to the left. Anyway, to my right, your left, you will see a resident German. Pascal, say hi.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
And over past him, you'll see Sasquatch Nugget staring off into space.
Hey.
What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh,
Peachy.
Peachy.
Been working on a new character for D&D sesh.
Right?
Be a flavor.
It's very
Possibly.
peachy. Probably. Somewhere.
Probably. What kind of character did you make for D&D?
I stuck with working on a character from our old D&D sesh just because I was enjoying the soldier leveling up. So I stuck with a dragon because you guys know when I'm in Skyrim or Oblivion, I'm always a lizard. So I had to keep with that. I think I have a fetish of lizards or dragons.
What is it? Yeah, what is it with that?
I don't know, man. I just like them. So I stuck with it, made a soldier, but this time I'm keeping myself out of harm's way. So I've become a soldier archer. So I will not be fighting up close unless I have to.
Playing it safe.
Yeah, I'm not going to die this time. For the greater cause of the good.
Let's just run off and act all crazy.
Yeah, so now I'll be in the trees.
Charlie, up in the trees. Awesome. Did you get yours made, Pascal?
Yep. I made a race called Asimar or Aasimar. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's basically
Aaron.
ASMR.
It was pretty cool. It's a sorcerer now, but it's basically somebody who is like a law bringer, and neither really good or evil, other than upbringing the law. However, my traits and feats are super conflicting, which are evil inspired, and a lot of darkness. It's like you can just kind of pick it up and have like a little backstory and view your traits, and it builds like a cool background for you. So it's going to be really conflicting. Like my race is supposed to die, gets a little bit older than a human lifespan, but for some mysterious reason that will be later revealed, my character is 790 years old and considers the dead lucky.
You're Yoda.
So, but pretty fun. Like we went through it, Nugget and me. We went like through all the settings together, and it was pretty cool. Where you can like create one. We rolled the dice to define the stats. We had a few heart attack moments here and there, but overall it was pretty fun.
Said he considers the dead lucky, like he feels like he's lived too long.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit more that he can die, but not really. Like he cannot pass on to the afterlife because he has done something that he tries to get redemption through actions.
Shit, you got backstory and everything, huh?
Yep. So and just
I could get him to roll his backstory though. He wouldn't do it.
No, because I have like a backstory. It's called Heart of Darkness. It's like a preset backstory, and I feel like I kind of had to pick because I'm gonna play this different. I'm not gonna play what would Pascal do. What would that character do is what I'm gonna play. So I'm gonna 100% role play. So I'm not gonna be any moral choices. I'm gonna do what the character does. I don't care what's good or what what you think is good or Pascal thinks. I'm gonna do what my character's name is Gotarak, what Gotarak thinks. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to try that out.
Awesome. I haven't rolled mine yet. I'm gonna make Nugget walk me through. What? I'm gonna make Nugget walk me through that one.
I'm pushing you guys along on this.
Maybe we can do it live on Twitch.
There you go. Stay tuned for the podcast gaming D&D sesh after hours, where Westman makes his character.
Anyway, so we got a little bit of news to cover tonight. As you can see, we are one person down, so it's probably going to make the show a little bit shorter than usual, but that's okay.
You're welcome.
Before we run through that news, let's catch up with what everybody's been up to this week. Pascal, let's hear how your week's been. What you been up to?
I've been, a little busy at work. Started snowing here, so it's kind of like beautiful but annoying. However, I did play a new game that came out on Friday. I already have 40 hours in because I literally don't stop playing that game. And I used my off days to exclusively, because I was by myself, play that game. I'm not 40, it's like 32 or something, so it's close to 40.
He says he's busy at work.
Well, I was before that came out, but
But I had 2 days off, so I played 48 hours on 2 days.
I had Saturday off and Monday, Tuesday. So no, it was fun though. It's obviously for somebody who doesn't like the series, they're gonna be like, oh, that's just mediocre kind of thing. But as a big Dragon Ball fan, I played the Dragon Ball Kakarot game, and it's the Saiyan name of Goku, and it's awesome. Like it's exactly what I wanted it to be. I hope they're gonna add more post-launch content, because there's a lot of potential that instead of releasing a new game, they could just add like expansion-wise, the new series, the Super Series. I wouldn't be mad, because right now I've finished the main story, and there, I think 30 or 20 or 30 side quests, pun intended, opened up. So it's a nice game, and it has me hooked. Like I remember Wes asking me to play COD or something. I was like, nope, can't do.
Like, why? What are you doing? He's like, I'm playing Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, so I enjoy it. And so, like, if anybody from our listeners, viewers, like Dragon Ball and were disappointed with priors, I think this is a really, really good game. Really well done, because it also puts a filler in, like silly stuff. Not just the story, also the side stuff that happens in the whole anime itself, which is awesome. So,
lots of Kakarot crying.
No, just like there was like a driving school and stuff episode, and just like silly stuff, fishing. It's really well done. And it looks good too. But that was pretty much my week.
What was there a second game that you bought?
Oh, I think prior to that, I bought a fighting game, Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is a straight up Mortal Kombat style fighting
Oh.
game that you don't buy for the story at all because it's just some weird ass shit that has no meaning really. It's more about the fighting itself, Mortal Kombat ish. It's really good designed fighting game, but that's it. You just paid for the multiplayer basically.
Not as interesting as the other game.
For me, not because I'm not a big multiplayer fighting person, but it was on sale for like $19. So I said, why not? Just play it for a little bit because the artwork it looks literally like the anime, like it's like hand drawn kind of stuff. So it looks really, really good. But it's just a fighting game like Mortal Kombat, and you can only do so much with it, And while this one is actually, you have like worlds you can travel to, fly through, and visit places, do your side stuff, go fishing, mineral hunting, all this fun stuff. So that's why I enjoy it a lot more. It has a lot more single player content, I guess.
Right? That's it.
Yeah, that's it. What about you, Nugget?
Oh man, I did all kinds of stuff. First, I started watching season 2 of Castle Rock.
Ooh.
So it's got me intrigued. I'm already excited.
You like it?
Yeah, so far I like it. It's got me on one of those parts where the episode ends and you need to go to bed, but you go, one more. So I've always said if a show can do that at the end of its episode, it's a pretty good show. I was that way with really hardcore into Game of Thrones. I felt like they always left you on a cliffhanger that you had to know what
they
happened
betrayed
next.
us.
Yes. So, but side quest. Jesus, where am I at? Side quest. That's where we're at. Yeah. So Castle Rock season 2 is starting out very well. It starts out pretty action packed too. Like it immerses you.
Does it continue on where the first one left, kind of, or the storyline?
I mean,
is it
no.
like after the events?
The things that happen in the first season are still happening in the second season. So
it's like sequel-ish, but not really.
But yeah, no, you don't see
like
many
separate
of any of the same people. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
it's cool.
I wonder if at some point they'll kind of interweave.
Maybe.
I don't know because it's like after things happened. So like all that shit went down and now like pretty much everybody has moved out of Castle Rock and new people are moving in. So
okay.
So they don't, they don't believe in spirits and stuff like that, so they're not worried about it. Played some Call of Duty with everybody, and I think played some PUBG. Been playing a lot more PUBG. I was excited for the update with the demolishable buildings during rocket strikes, so we'll see how that goes. I haven't got to play it yet since the update, which was last night.
With the black zones?
Yes, the black zones.
The firestorm.
Yeah, I did watch a video and they start out like immediately. Like one person had just landed in a compound from dropping out of the plane, literally ran into a house, and it started dropping and killed him inside of a house. So you will die in a house. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty scary. Because if you think about like when the circle gets small, if they keep going like multiple times in the game, like I said, it's all new, so I'm not sure how it works.
Well, it prevents this thing that I always hated about PUBG and that I enjoyed so much about Battlefield. It's like when you have people like in the last circle and they're just like camping in a building, you can just blow that shit up. And now they kind of bring that stuff back with PUBG, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah. So and there's new sticky bombs. So they made some of the stuff destructible, so you can get into places you normally couldn't. So you can blow a hole in the floor. Almost reminds you of Rainbow Six. To put you some thermite on there and blow through a floor so you can drop down, or blow through a wall to get out another way. So that's pretty neat. So I'll let you know more about that next week. Awesome. And I played a new game that's in beta. I was given a beta code for I think it was Mad Experiments Escape Room. So, it was fun. I've always wanted to do an escape room, but I don't want to do an escape room because I don't want to be locked in something for an hour and get bubble guts or something and can't get out because I have to poop.
That's a good way.
So-
Like, why don't you like to go to the escape room? I'm afraid I'm
Might
gonna
get the
poop.
shits.
Yeah. That's why you won't
Probably
see
got
this
me,
guy parasailing.
Oh, that's great.
I don't want to be up there and have to
Shit.
poop on somebody. So
Speaking of parasailing, I just came across this video on YouTube a day or two ago. No, maybe it was on TikTok. I don't know. Dude, they were pulling this speedboat was pulling a raft, like a round tubular raft. And I guess they did it so fast and they got the air under it that it went up in the air and it was fucking flying in the air like a parasail. And the guy was up in it and you could see him. And this thing's 20 feet up in the air, just flying. And they finally, I guess he told him to slow down. And when it slowed down and started to fall, all that air resistance or whatever was keeping it up there, it just crumbled. And the dude comes flying out of it and like just tumbles 20 feet down into the water. It was amazing. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. We'll sidetrack there.
Yeah, so that's why I don't do certain things that I will not do, because I get anxiety even thinking about it. So
Haunted houses.
But it was fun though. It's like I do haunted houses because you could just punch somebody and run. Like you can get out of them. You know what I mean? Like you can get out of on it. Like if I seriously was like, I'm about to poop my pants, they'd probably be like, hey, come over here, dude.
They have
we'll
a
let you
back
the
way
side
out.
door.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how these things work. Is you get locked in, so I'm scared. But yeah, so I played with Blitz and Big Shy and Pop Tart, and we had to solve puzzles, man. They were pretty tough puzzles. Some of them were so tough they were easy. It took somebody reading something while you weren't looking at the puzzle for you to answer it. So I don't want to give anybody anything away in case somebody gets a beta code. So I don't want to talk about the puzzles too much, but it's like riddles. It talks in riddles. 5 of these are the same, but 2 are different, but make 2 pairs.
Is it the
one in
same
the middle.
developers? Because I played a game on Xbox. It was Games with Gold, and it's called We Are Here or We Were Here. And basically, you had to go into Game Shed, and you would be in a room, and the other one would be in a room with like riddles. And then you have to push the walkie, and it's like actual walkies. You have to wait until you have to say over and stuff. Otherwise, people talk over you, and you don't hear anything, right? And it sounds familiar, like from the developers. It might be the same because it was like, the room on the left, should show a sign, and then you read the sign, and then he has, like, your friend has to like solve the riddles or something. Or it's a theater play, and you have to like you're in different rooms all the time until you actually meet up in the end and have to do a few decisions. But until then,
yeah, we were all in the same, but there was a point at the end when you get like so far in, almost to the very end of it, that like one person has to do something while the others try to watch what they're doing and tell them an answer and like directions, I guess.
So it's pretty much like an escape room.
Yeah, no, it is 100% escape room. I don't know much about it. Like I said, I was just given the code and asked to play, so I went and played.
Nice.
And so the code gives you the 1 hour, so that's all you get.
Oh,
or not the 1 hour, the one room. So once you complete it, it's like, congratulations, thanks for playing. We'll be out soon. So
did you do the room again if you
like
wanted
a demo.
to, like, or to run through it with other people?
I'm not for sure. That would be a good question for. I would assume you can, because I think they were playing it before I got there. So
Gotcha.
I don't know the answer to that.
It's like a demo beta-ish, like
yeah, definitely demo
about.
Beta. Yeah. So
Sounds
they let you
fun,
escape
though.
from. Yeah.
Like a good game.
Oh no, I had a fun time. We were laughing, giggling, because it's just like, how do we do this? And everybody's getting mad, and then you got people off doing their own thing. So I played that. That was fun. And I think that's it. I did a build on a character, so I am a Dragonborn soldier again. I was already a Dragonborn on our last character, so I sort of went with it because I liked where that character was going. So I can't wait to continue to build this character up. But I got some pretty sweet rolls.
You talking about sweet rolls?
Yeah, sweet rolls. I ate them all. So, with the 6 stats, I had like the highest number you could get would be an 18. So I had an 18 and a 17. So I added those to my bonus stats, which made me a pretty stacked character. So I'm pretty much a big moving turret at this point. So I'm excited to get playing again. So that's about all I had, though. That's what I did this week. Wesley?
Me! I didn't do a whole lot, honestly. I played a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Back to that. Beat the second of 3 pillars of the main story. Third one is yet to come, and I'm going to do that very soon. It was very disappointing, unfortunately, but, you know, kind of the story parts of the game, endings or whatever, doesn't really take away from how good the game has been. So that's good at least. I played a little Call of Duty, still enjoying that. I need to make more time to play it more. I think it would be cool if 3 or 4 of us could get together maybe once a week and play a different BR game. Like Cycle through maybe
we can just wait for the Call of Duty one.
If it's really coming. We can play a Call of Duty one, we could play the Battlefield one, I don't know. Just flip back and forth, do something different.
Yeah, I definitely know on the new Call of Duty, because I didn't think about saying it, but the 3-on-3, 3v3 is pretty fun, but the maps are too little for 6 people. I was having a rough time, like it was making me angry. So I hope they put out some medium-sized maps
3v3
for 3-on-3.
Yeah, they just put 3 people on a 2-people map, basically.
Yeah.
The worst one is the one where you throw snowballs in the beginning. It's so dumb.
Snowballs.
Because it makes you go through all that before you start.
Played a little bit of Jedi Fallen Order. And other than that, I watched something tonight. I watched the Jay and Silent Bob reboot movie. I've always been a big fan of Jay and Silent Bob movies. I know they're stupid. I don't care. And this one was no different. It was stupid, and I didn't care. I liked it. And it was actually a little bit surprisingly touching as well. So if you like Jay and Silent Bob, shit just came out like today, I think. It's the first time I've noticed it out on digital, and it's only $10. So boom. There you go.
Nice.
Other than that, I didn't do shit. So, who's got some news?
Well, I got some.
Got that news.
Oh, yeah, the news. So, some of you already heard
His
that.
news brings all the voice to the yard.
Probably the biggest topic in the last few days, which was that our beloved Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed until September 17th. It was supposed to come out in April this year. Good. Which I think is a good thing, because the reasoning, I'm going to quote what Mark Iswinsky and Adam Badowski said, or Badowski, the founder and head of studios.
Are they brothers from another mother?
Probably. They said, "We are currently at a stage where the game is complete and playable, but there's still work to be done. Night City is massive, full of stories, content, and places to visit. But due to the sheer scale and complexity of it all, we need more time to finish playtesting, fixing, and polishing. We want Cyberpunk 2077 to be our crowning achievement for this generation, and postponing launch will give us the precious months we need to make this game perfect." So I think in this case, it's a good thing when this gets delayed. They pretty much said the game is done, complete. So right now, they're working on fine-tuning and polishing it, making it smoother, making it better. So, you know what? It's, 5 months? We can wait.
If I remember correctly, The Witcher got delayed.
Yeah, and, it was a great game. And if that makes a difference between a good and a great game, I'm all for it.
So they talk about how big it is. Do we know how big comparatively to the Witcher world that it is?
It's bigger. They said it's bigger than the
Holy smoke.
Are they self-publishing? They don't have a big publisher pushing this, do they?
They're
okay, so that's why they can afford to delay it, because they don't have deadlines and Activision shareholders going, "What the fuck? It's supposed to come out in Q3."
The other one was also self-published, I think.
Right.
I think they also got a lot more sales on Witcher because the extra time, but also they marketed pretty neatly with day one DLC, and every DLC for the first year or something will be free. And yeah, a lot of it was cosmetics and stuff, but it's stuff they couldn't have time to put in the game, so they just kind of put it in later.
I feel like they're more for the people, man.
Yeah,
and more for the gamer.
I bought the game physically, and I don't know if you did,
I
but
did.
when I bought it on PS4, and when you open it, it was a giant map, a signed thank you note, like that. You know how
The
the games
thank you
used to
note
have all this
sold me.
stuff, like like a colored map and a manual and stuff. So I think that was pretty neat, and yeah, I feel like it's a good thing if it's just to make the game better. Go all for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm 100% on that. I'm down. You're not going to hurt my feelings. There's been too many people that's handed us gamers polished turds over time. So if you're going to hand me a fucking game that's going to work right and feel right, then I'm okay with it. Delay it as long as you need to. As long as you just never not give it to me. But
I
So
concur.
and now we go into the second disappointing news for me in a way. Like Cyberpunk is disappointing too, but it has a good outcome, and I hope the same thing happens here because I was a big fan of Dying Light. I don't know if you guys played it. It's a zombie game with heavy parkour elements. It's so much fun when you play it in co-op. It's probably the best zombie game I've played with
Really?
friends. And the second one has a lot of ambition. And the head, the CEO, Paweł Maciewka, also Polish from Techland, said that they as well, it was supposed to come out in spring 2020. They delayed Dying Light 2 until further notice to they literally said we were initially aiming for a spring 2020 release with Dying Light 2, but unfortunately we need more development time to fulfill our vision. We will have more details to share in the coming months, and we'll get back to you as soon as we have more information. We apologize for this unwelcome news, but our priority is to deliver an experience that lives up to our own high standards and to the expectations of you, our fans. I don't know if you guys know anything about Dying Light developers, but I also think those are good news because Dying Light, I think, up to this day, still get updates with free content.
Oh wow.
They had one expansion coming out, I think, 2 years ago, but they have like events, they have like fun little things that are in the out in the world. If there's something funny happening, they always do little Easter eggs they add in the game. And yeah, they still support it to this day. And this, I don't know when Dying Light came out, but it's probably like 4 or 5 years old.
We'll try that
now.
out then.
But the game is itself like I'm kind of scared when a zombie game is really immersive, and it is really immersive because you can go into buildings and they are scary. But the parkour element, and when you play with fans, it's with friends. I mean, it's amazing. It's so smooth and fluid. There's no like bullet sponge really. It's just skill, and you can be a zombie too if you want. You're like one of the big night creatures that chases down other players, and they have to defend you in the middle of a night. So kind of cool if you have it turned on. You can just invade other players. But yeah, I think they're great developers, and I honestly believe that the same thing from Project Red, CD Project Red applies here too. Like if in the end the ultimate game will be closer to what they envisioned, and that can make the difference between good and great, like I said before. So
It delayed indefinitely though. It's kind of scary.
well, because probably what happened is that they need more time, but instead of saying September and then delaying it again because they need another month, they're just gonna be quiet until they're like, okay, it's gonna definitely come out now. Which I don't know which game it was. It was some of these games that came out and was like an anticipated game, and they always kept delaying it more and more. I don't know if it was Destiny or if it was not Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, but it kept on being delayed, and people were kind of like fed up to a point. Like, when does it finally coming out? Because you always keep delaying and delaying it. So I feel like that is also a smart move because maybe they are not completely done and they need more time. If they would have been done and just need polishing, they could have made it like, hey, we can do it until September, but maybe they're not at that stage yet.
Maybe it will not definitely come out.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm pretty sure it comes out. I just don't think it's gonna be summer. I think it's gonna be holiday time. So which I always believe that if you bring out a game in April, first of all, you show balls, but it also, we have almost no good games coming out from, March till like holidays. They're all like these yearly releases that everybody gets, but there's not like, I wish it would not always be so congested in the holiday sale market. It's so annoying.
You've obviously never played Madden.
Well, I'm just saying though, you know what I'm saying? It's like you always have these big game releases and some of them are good, but then there's like too many, man. It's like and you want to play them, but first of all, time and second of all, money. Like it shouldn't be that way. And I'm tired of it, to be honest.
Used
I
to be
just want
money was my
throughout
problem. Now time is.
yeah. And I just wish that they would spread them out through the year. So every time it gets late, that's kind of like my little aftertaste because right now I'm thinking about okay, it's coming on September. I want to get it, and then what if there's an October new game? Like you know, all these like late months, there's all these game releases, and we have nothing really to play new that comes out in the early months of the year. Which for me, I would be having the balls and release it if there's nothing other coming out. It's big sales. You know, just put the new Call of Duty out in March. Boom, everybody will play that shit.
We only have
So.
2 maps now.
Yeah.
We'll add more, and you'll have
later.
We'll have 6 by
when
October.
the new one comes out.
All right, what else you got?
I mean that was pretty much it. I mean, we can kind of discuss the new Xbox stuff if you want to.
Oh, we can definitely discuss that.
So it was released, and maybe you are so kind and for the stream purpose to show a picture. If not, that's fine too, and I can explain it. It was a leak of the new Xbox console, the Xbox Series X. Somebody leaked a prototype, which is now confirmed to be the real console because we know how the real console looks and it matches up. There are a few interesting things that I would like to point out that I noticed, and the big one is we won't have an HDMI in port anymore like the Xbox One X has or the original Xbox. You're only gonna have, or even the S, I think, you're only gonna have an HDMI out like from the console. That's it. You're not gonna have an in anymore, and they have an SSD slot for external hard drive, which is kind of redundant. I mean, I guess when you have a PC and you have a PC out drive, you can just hook it up in there, but you can just also use your normal portable hard drive that you have now, like from Western Digital or Seagate or whatever you rock right now. You can just hook that up in the USB port. But
I did find a picture for you. It's the new Xbox One X, guys.
Yeah. It's a nice looking fridge we got there.
It's like a refrigerator. Yeah, I'm still looking at words.
Yeah, so right now for me, it's just like I don't really mind that. I think it was a nice addition to the Xbox that we had, the HDMI in, because I could just literally hook up anything HDMI cable wise. So it was pretty awesome. So I didn't have to get like 6 different HDMI ports or use them up. I just hook it up in the Xbox and I can just switch consoles basically with the Xbox button, which is pretty cool. But for me right now, it's not really that big of a deal. I don't really like the design so much, but that's just me. I'm not just this, I'm not a PC guy either. For me, they always have to look kind of like innovative. So I don't know. I'm just waiting for the PlayStation 5, but you know what? And I said that before, I don't really care about how it looks and how powerful it is. What I actually right now care about is the games. And if none of these consoles give me any incentive to buy them with games or games that I can play on a different platform already, then why do I need to switch right away? There's no need for it, So, but we'll see. I'm still very curious about the PlayStation 5, like how it actually looks, the design, because they're very slick with the PS4. They had like some weird designers doing like all the airflows. I don't know if you ever looked into an airflow of a PS4, but it looks like a maze, like how they did it to get, not using external power brick and stuff. To get it in that small form factor was actually impressive. So who knows? It could be that the PS5 looks similar and is like super small compared to the Xbox. But we'll see. I guess
I don't think it will be.
Maybe it looks like a spaceship or like a Pac-Man. We don't know.
Want to see my Pac-Man?
As long as we don't have these ugly as boomerang controllers. Speaking of controllers, quick mini news. I don't know if you guys knew that from all the drama with the PlayStation 4 controller, which supposedly is the same as Xbox, just minor refigurations. You know these pedals the Xbox One controllers have? The Elite series and stuff, or the Wolverine? You can buy them for $24 now, officially by Sony, to add them to your PlayStation 4 controller, because you're gonna be you can use your PS4 controller on the PS5, and you can buy these pedals separately instead of buying $180 controller and have these back pedals for like your movement, for your jumping and stuff. And you can just buy them and attach them on it, clip them on it, and it works. Which I think is pretty neat, because one of the reasons I got myself these Elite controllers, or wanted them, was because when I play Call of Duty or something, I can
Finger
just
switches.
play and jump while I'm aiming, have the PC kind of movement, or more
So
closer
weird.
to PC. It's really not that, and it's nice for Forza too. You can just shift while driving, and you have all, you don't have to like put your hand away from the joystick, basically, which is the whole, reason why they have these sticks. And they have, I think it's cool because people can just have the advantage of that by just buying a $20 peripheral.
That's why I just turn my controllers upside down, and my thumbs as the triggers, and I got all these fingers for the buttons on the bottom.
Yeah, but I think it's a cool thing. So was my little mini. Just remembered this stuff, so I think it's cool.
Awesome. What else we got?
Oh, is that all you got, Pascal? You done?
Yeah, I think I'm done, those.
Jesus Christ, yeah, I'm done.
Right, I'll cover one of Spider's, Zach. He put one in there. It's talking about Project C. It is a super ambitious online RPG by ex-Ubisoft, Rockstar, and CD Projekt Red developers. So Project C aims to be a complex, player-driven virtual world where you can do anything. So the MMO feels like they're on the verge of a renaissance. It also goes further into talking. Good Lord, man, they pulled some people on this one. So some of the genre's original luminaries, from Ralph Coster to Brad McCade, if that means anything to any of you gamers out there, because I really don't pay attention to that type of stuff. When it comes to game, I'm just like, ooh, game, me play, me mash buttons. So it says they have returned to make the MMOs that push the genre forward. So enter Darewise Entertainment, a team made up of almost 30 developers with resumes that include Red Dead Redemption 2, Assassin's Creed, The Witcher 3, Horizon Zero Dawn, Dishonored, have all joined forces to create an ambitious as hell virtual world where players self-organize their own societies while colonizing an alien planet. So there's a lot more to that. This article is on PC Gamer if you would like to go read
pretty
more.
Ambitious. And
Wonder
also,
if they have open trading.
If you give people all these like choices, man, you know what my experience is, if you give people like a own society, it's a bunch of assholes ruining a fun game, and there's a lot of penises drawn everywhere.
I find that if you let the people do that, they come up with their own in-game economy.
Yeah,
where your gold or your coins or whatever aren't worth much, but certain magic supplies or different things are
and I'm fine with
more.
that. I'm fine with that.
That's what I miss from these games, though.
But if it's like
Destiny, they fuck the economy. They control everything, and the players have nothing to do with it. They just get strung along by whatever the developers want.
Hey, let's grind this boss for like 6 hours.
And maybe you'll get a drop.
Yeah, maybe.
So one of the things it says in here, I read a little further into it. It says players take on the role of settlers colonizing an alien world, using resources to rebuild settlements, player-run organizations, and more. At the heart of the Project C are its contracts, a quest system where players can create tasks and rewards for other players to fulfill.
Interesting.
That might be a way to, I don't know, that might help inflate the economy or deflate the economy, depending on if it's like, hey, go pick up a stick and I'll give you 700 buttons.
Yeah, what you're saying there.
I also read something that if you want to be part of the Founders Pack, which is how to get started, it's going to cost $190.
What?
But it was Canadian dollars, so it's $150.
They're crowdsourcing the game.
It's $150 for Founders Pack.
So they're
and
crowdsourcing. They're not.
Sounds like it. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I don't. I mean, it sounds super promising, but I feel like a lot of games try to do that and they're dead now, like similar to this. So I don't know. We'll see. If Ubisoft, then I don't really trust Ubisoft that much because they are some greedy bunch. But who knows?
Yeah, well, maybe the other ones will smack them around a little bit.
Yeah,
it says their map is handcrafted zone, roughly about 1 square kilometer in size. By December, Charbit is hoping to increase the size to 9 square kilometers, and soon after, a whopping 64 square kilometers.
Yeah, so it's gonna be, and they're gonna probably use like procedural generating assets or something for the rest.
And then I'm sure Zach will have us some updates next week. I'm
pretty sure too.
This is just me like blowing through his thing just to try to give you guys some ideas of what he wanted to talk about. So one of my stories is just a small little thing. Nintendo Switch announced that they will be bringing the best trilogies to Nintendo Switch. So the first one looks like it's going to be Bioshock Trilogy. Will be coming to the Switch.
Yeah,
Big Daddy.
But damn, man. I mean,
yeah,
I
but
think
if you're a Nintendo fan and you've never played it because you don't go outside Nintendo, now you get a chance to play a fucking good ass game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I would go back to Rapture.
I mean, I like the fact that they're doing that. Just, I guess, I played it like on the console, so I'm like, it's nothing gonna be like groundbreaking for me in these. But it's great, right. Yeah. I never seen it out of that perspective actually, because I feel like
Rapture in 690p.
No, I mean, if you think about it, the Switch is more powerful than a 360, and if you put it in dock mode, you probably have better graphics than what it used to look like, but it's probably not going to be anything.
Depends on which version of the Switch you have now, doesn't it?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, you could say that probably if you got by the newest one when they upgraded it again, probably looks even better, but yeah, I think like even in handheld mode, it should run better than the 360 versions, for sure.
Hey Nugget, I like your shirt.
Yeah. Hey, thanks.
Where'd you get it?
I got it for Christmas, so I don't know.
Oh,
he's wearing a
Santa Claus
Baby Yoda shirt. It says Precious
Fuck
Cargo.
off with that Baby Yoda shit.
Oh,
it's the asset.
The asset or the child.
It's the greenling, the youngling.
There we go.
Baby Yoda in a paper bag says Precious Cargo.
Baby Yoda. That's right. Well, I think that's supposed to be a pocket, but maybe not. Like a breast
pocket.
It's
a giant pocket, yeah.
Hey, I got giant titties, man.
Here we go.
Anyway.
So another one I was going to say for weird and wacky news, but I got another article for that. So I'm going to actually incorporate this into my news because it's personal to me. And sort of our mission on here to bring awareness to CDKL5. So a Texas gamer saves the life of a friend who had a seizure nearly 5,000 miles away.
Wow.
So they were gaming together. Her friend went quiet over. She lived in the UK, or the friend lived in the UK. Sort of went quiet. There was nothing, no more conversing back and forth. She found the address. It goes into like, let me see. So it's a 17-year-old boy in the United Kingdom. I'll just read it to you. This comes from, where did I find this article? Wow. See, it's so small. What she said.
Itty bitty thing.
We'll just go. Friendship forged nearly 5,000 miles apart. She helped save a 17-year-old boy's life in the United Kingdom. Adian Jackson was chatting with his gaming friend in Texas when reportedly suffered a dangerous seizure. When their conversation suddenly stopped, Dia became worried and scoured the internet for the correct emergency service number. She called for someone to help Aiden, a friend that she had never met in person. So all of a sudden now there's police cars, ambulances pulling up to the house, knocking on the door. Parents are like, what's going on? They said, is your son home? And they said, yeah, he's upstairs. They all go in and find him having a seizure. So they were able to get him the medical help in really good timing because the parents said they had no idea. So
Wow.
there's no telling how long they would have been without checking on their son. So that I thought was amazing. So if you ever are concerned about something, always trust your gut, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's just crazy. Like, if you think about it, the age we live in, right? Like, this shit would have not been possible like years ago, and now we have the technology and we actually use it in the good way to save someone's life. And
Oh,
you can, but hey, we always have to put gaming in the bad way because that's just a nice thing to stomp on. But these kind of stories just don't get enough attention because I feel
Yeah.
like this is just like amazing.
Well, no, they don't. It's I mean, I don't want to get into politics of anything,
No, it's
but
just
when
it's
they
scapegoat, it's
want
gaming for
to
everything.
blame gaming for people killing people, and
Yeah.
but when something like this happens, you don't hear anything about it. You don't hear people
Right.
going, "Oh my god, if they wouldn't have been gamers,
Yep.
no one would have saved this kid's life."
Nope.
So,
No one
but that's
would've.
that's with anything. They always want to point out the negative. They never want to point out the positive.
Yep.
Very
that's
true.
all I got.
Very true.
Yep, that's all the gaming news I have today.
I have one news blurb, only one, and these two guys have already demonstrated they don't care about it. But maybe some of you do. I don't know. I'm iffy on it. I like anything Star Wars, but I see it was announced today, and a trailer came out that the final season 7 of the Clone Wars, is going to be coming to Disney Plus. And I watched the trailer for it, and while I am still on season 1 of the Clone Wars, because after the movie and whatever, I'm just having a hard time getting through the episodes, to be honest. But I hear it gets a lot better as time goes by, so we'll see. But everybody seems to be really excited about season 7 of the Clone Wars, so I'm kind of excited too. It makes me want to watch it so I can get close to.
I have a question
6.
about that because I just noticed something. I remember that it was pretty much like done for in a way, and then Netflix bought it or something, bought the rights to develop a season, I think, or finish a season. And now I'm kind of surprised that Disney Plus does it again.
It was never, from what I understand.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm totally out of the loop there. I just know that
something like that happened. From what I understand, whoever was, it used to come out on Cartoon Network, I think, and the rights got transferred to somebody else or something, and it never got finished. It just,
and then Netflix came in, and
I don't know about Netflix and all that.
I think because they even had the Netflix symbol when you played that season in the beginning. Maybe, hey, again, this is just what I remember.
God, speaking of Disney, that sort of just brought me on another thing. Did you see where they took Fox out of all the symbols? And I just saw it on TV tonight. It just says like 21st century on their label now. It doesn't say Fox 21st century. So that was fast. Like, they acted pretty quick. Fucking Disney. Give me more Mandalorian.
No, I want to see the Obi-Wan thing too.
Oh,
I need my
Ewan
McGregor.
They're like fucking Pokemon, man. I want to see them all. Let's hurry this shit up.
Yeah, I hope they do the Netflix approach at one point where they drop the whole season instead of having this drip feeding, like one episode.
Yeah, you got to keep your people paying monthly fees.
I know, fucking smart asses. I hate that.
It says the Clone Wars premiered on October 30th, 2008, Cartoon Network. Clone Wars on Cartoon Network is shown 16:9 aspect ratio, blah, 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 blah. Show began airing on Adult Swim on March 14th, 2009, making the series the first Cartoon Network series to simultaneously air on Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. The series also aired on TNT, making it the first form of animation to air on that channel in over a decade. March of 2013, it was announced that the Clone Wars would be winding down to focus on Star Wars sequel trilogy and a new series, Star Wars Rebels. On February 13th, 2014, Netflix announced that starting March 7th, 2014, they would begin the U.S. distribution of the entire TV series, including some previously unreleased director's cuts, the previously unaired season dubbed The Lost Missions. The latter also became available for purchase on digital video stores such as iTunes in mid-2014. The Netflix distribution of the series, along with the Blu-rays, included versions of some episodes with previously censored material deemed inappropriate for the demographic of Cartoon Network. One of the most well-known edits was the removal of the character Ventress kissing a clone after she had stabbed him with her lightsaber.
Nice.
That sounds epic.
It's pretty fucking hot.
Yeah.
The show was removed from Netflix on April 7th, 2019. For the upcoming revival and final season, the remaining episodes of the series will be exclusively on Disney+. First episode will be released on February 24th or 21st, 2020. There's that.
So basically, Netflix got it to be uncut,
It seems that way.
not family friendly anymore that much, and now Disney is back and like, no, we can't show that.
No, we don't know that. We don't know that. It didn't say that they were edited. I'll find out.
Maybe it really wasn't a lightsaber she stabbed him with as she kissed him.
Damn.
Whoa.
That's inappropriate. Penetration?
Penetration? What?
That's inappropriate. So that's all I've got. So you've got some wild and
Nice.
wacky news. You want to take us out of here? Lay it on.
I do have some wild and wacky news, and hold on to your pants,
Hold on to your nuts.
or you will be holding on to your pants here in about 5 seconds. So, and this came with a video. So if you guys want to watch the video of the release,
Link it. Link it. Oh, nah, let's
I'm not linking that. No, you guys can go find it. So this comes from Comic Sans, is where this article comes from. So a man woke up to find his wife put a metal chastity nut around his member and he had to have it removed with a grinder saw.
Nice.
How does that
So
even...
she thought he was cheating, and she got a nut. They're calling it a chastity nut, but that's not a thing. It's just a fucking nut.
And
Like
not around his
a bolt and nut, yes. So his penis became the bolt. She put it around there, and then it swelled over and couldn't release any blood out because it was stuck. So he had to go to the hospital, and it took them a while to figure out how they were going to do this, and it's pretty much, to me, like old school. I mean, what the hell? You just they got an angle grinder and a bottle of water and sprayed it as they cut into this nut to free his Willy Wonka. So if you guys
I
feel
assume
the
they're
need-
divorced now.
I mean, I hope, unless he's into that type of thing.
Yeah, it seems overkill.
Overkill. Jeez.
They did they did put together a medical team, and they recorded the whole thing, so you can watch it. They blur out the PP, so you don't have to worry about seeing that. But just think of a fucking like angle grinder
No,
cutting
thank you.
away at a piece of metal that's wrapped around your junk. So
Not I.
Woman
Don't
would go pow pow.
cheat on your significant other, or you may get a nut wrapped around your wee wee.
It's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Don't be cheating, or you get a nut
Awesome.
on your nut. Double nut.
Amazing. Hey, Nugget,
Yeah.
did you know that you could listen to this show after we're live on Twitch?
I have heard of such things.
Such things exist. Guys, our podcast is distributed to like over 10 podcast sites. We're on Google Play, we're on Google Podcasts, we're on Spotify, iTunes. Anchor is where we are hosted originally. So Stitcher, Podcast Nation, all these other places that I'm starting to make up right now. So check us out there. Leave us a review. We'd appreciate it. And yeah, I'm going to cough to death apparently. Yeah. So before I die on you, I think we're going to get out of here, guys. So thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. And we will see you all next week for another edition of the SideQuest Gaming Podcast. Until then,
Yes.
have a good day.
Get better, Zach. We love you.
Miss your boo.
Boo.